Howdy, and welcome back here to our Friday episode on Bally Springs as we are wrapping up year one and this grass field is ready to be mowed, and we'll talk more about that here in a second. I just want to point out the amazing sunrise. That is just awesome. And speaking of the awesome graphics on this map and just everything about it, if you've seen the FF25 stuff from FarmCon, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I mean, this is not just a copy and paste update. They're making a huge improvements here. Let me get back in here, and while I'm talking here, I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup around the yard here, put some equipment away, because I just kind of park stuff randomly and we need to kind of organize the yard a little bit. So while we're doing that, just want to give a little update here on this series, and also, going back to FS25. The new game, it's going to be amazing. I am so excited about that. There is a lot of amazing features, and the graphics improvements and everything across the board it's going to be a night and day. It's a huge improvement. And speaking of all that, if you do want to order, pre-order a copy of it, down in the description, there's going to be a link that you can use to order Farm Sim 25, and it does help out the channel, and it's at no additional cost to you. But let me get this backed up here, put away. Now, speaking of what we're going to be working on with this episode, we do have a lot to get done. Like I mentioned, grass is ready to be mowed. So I'm going to get the tractor hooked up with the mowers and get that out there into the field. However, Mia is going to agree to spend the day with us on getting that field mowed. And so she's gonna take care of that for us. We also have to get baling and everything else done. We'll make some hay bales, but most of it will be silage bales, because it turns out there's a lot of money in that, and we don't really have a need for a lot right now because we don't have a lot of animals here. Also, we need to do some planting as well here in this episode, because we have our winter crops, the wheat and barley, that we need to get into the ground before winter hits. And before we do that, though, we need to make sure the soils for our fields are in optimal condition, which means, of course, the soil sampling and all that, but it also means we have to make sure our pH levels are correct, which is resolved with lime, and also that our nitrogen levels are correct, which is resolved with fertilizer. So we want to make sure we get all of that taken care of, and that's going to be taken care of in this episode. And then in addition to that, we got to get the fields planted, get the grass field done, baled up, and we will, before the end of this episode, we will be selling that. Because by the end of this episode, we are going to wrap up this year in game, which means moving all the way up to December. So we do have several months to play. But let me finish getting everything set up here for Mia to start mowing, and I'm going to get this baler parked here. But while I'm doing all this, let's go ahead and roll the intro. So we're going to start off here with our traditional morning chores of getting all of our vegetables loaded up and our fruits loaded up and delivered to the restaurant. And again, we can deliver up to 3,000 liters of each one. That's kind of a limit we're putting on there, just to kind of make it a little bit more realistic. So anything we grow beyond that will have to be sold elsewhere. Now, speaking of realism, there are a couple of things that you probably noticed, like in the last episode, we did add crop moisture to this, and there are things as we're progressing here, we are gonna add more stuff to this because there's a lot of amazing mods. I'm discovering new ones all the time. And so that will be a part of the series. Is overall the goal of this is to stay pretty realistic as much as possible within the game, and with mods. However, there are a couple of exceptions to that, as we've already kind of mentioned earlier at the very beginning of this series, is with the relations to capacity. We are going to allow Unreal capacity, but we're going to put a limit on how much. So nothing more than 2 to 3x times the standard capacity is as much as we'll allow in this, because I don't want to make it like way unrealistic, but also just to be totally honest, carting 12,000 liters at a time or 20,000 liters at a time back and forth is very time consuming, and also, to be totally honest, kind of hard to watch too, for content. So by doing that, we'll try to save some of the time there, for you and for me both. The other is with pallets. We are going to use auto load, but we are required to have the equipment to move it manually. Now, big question, we have whiskey. Oh boy, I'm so excited about that, because we already know fruits and vegetables are not going to cover that 35,000. Whiskey may have a huge impact though. So let's get the fruits and vegetables sold here, and then we're gonna go over and grab the whiskey. I think so. Yeah, 114,000. Let me just see if we are selling everything. Selling. Why? Oh, you know what? I need to pull forward more because we're not getting everything. Come on. Well, I did pull forward a little bit, and it's not grabbing these. I might just be outside of on the outer edge too. Sorry. Let me back up here a little bit. So we got 9,570. Let's back up here. I'm gonna get a little bit closer to the building just in case we were just on the outer edge as well. And let's grab the rest of these and get them sold. Let's keep pulling forward here until it starts selling. There we go. I think I just didn't pull forward far enough, I think is the problem. Yeah, that's whoops, so well. All right, so how much is this second half gonna give us? Come on. Those tomatoes take forever to sell. Come on. There you go. It's another 4,000. So yeah, right about the same as yesterday. We're right around 14,000. Not bad at all. I mean, nowhere near that 35,000. But again, that's the whole reason we want to have, that's kind of that little side goal I have of having 210,000 in the bank, is so that by the end of the year, is so that we can have a cushion, because we're not going to hit 35,000 every month. So we need enough to keep us afloat during the months we don't, because the big things that are going to help us out is, well, as we found out, silage bells, huge. So that's going to be, but you can't do that every month. It's, like once every 4 months, maybe 4 to 5 months. Oh, okay. That backup job was going so well until there. Let me just get this here. All right. So let's see how much we get from 1 case of whiskey. Oh, this is looking good. Come on. Oh yeah, it's going up. All right, so $8,000. That is amazing. So yeah, and we also do have the patty as well. However, that got a much later start. So hopefully we get next month where we will have at least, one of each, maybe 2 of one or something like that, here and there. So looking probably around 16,000. I'm just estimating here per month from the whiskey. Um, so combine that with the vegetables and fruits, we've kind of more than doubled what we were getting with the fruits and vegetables, because that was right around 14,000. If we get 16,000, we're getting awfully close to 30,000. I mean, a little bit over that. So that's huge. That means our deficit of hitting that 35,000 magical number, which again, that's how much our monthly expenditures are between the loans and the cost of the restaurant and the brewery. So that is huge. But we are heading back over here to the farm, and next up is I needed to get ready to get some field work done and get Mia up on the mowers. All right, so Mia is out there, and you got to see her out there in the distance. She has already started on mowing the grass field, and we're gonna start our first chore here of harvesting the field beans. Now for us, the field beans are pretty much straight up a cash crop. Now that said, the best time to sell them to get the best price, I can say that correctly, evidently not, is going to be late spring, early summer next year. Now, given that our goal is to get our cash reserves up by the end of this year, oh darn, I can't do straw. I was kind of hoping. Some maps you can, some you can't. But I think we're gonna go ahead and sell it now, which means we won't get the max price. We'll definitely be taking a loss, but it's not like we're not gonna have a huge amount here, so it's not really worth, storing it for 6 months to get that price. Especially given our immediate goal is to get to 210,000 by the end of this episode, so we have those cash reserves we need. Yeah. So, oh yeah, one other thing too I do want to mention is, I also mentioned this in the last episode, is we, for the most part, trying to keep with that realism stuff and immersion and all that. We will be doing in-cab view because I got my new Thrustmaster steering wheel and I'm absolutely loving it. It is an improvement over my Logitech, and it's nothing against the Logitech one. Actually, I was impressed with it. I actually had my Logitech steering wheel for at least 7 or 8 years. I think maybe even longer than that. I got it when it first came out, and it worked great until just recently it stopped working. And I think it was a software issue from Logitech that it stopped working. But yeah, so I got the new Thrustmaster and I love it. However, there are certain activities in this game, like i.e. harvesting and a few others, where I guess you call this third person view is just kind of better, well, easier to do, because it is really hard to harvest in first person, not gonna lie. I know some people can do it. I am not one of those people. Can do it very well. So just for the sake of making sure we're harvesting all the crops, kind of doing that in the third person view here. But just a little bit of update about that. So let me continue on with getting this field harvested, and then what we're going to do is, because we don't want to wait, like I said, till June when the price peaks on this, we will pretty much take this and sell it right away. And we are here on the last row, and actually we ended up with more from this field than I thought we'd get. We're just a little over 20,000 liters, which that's pretty good. I was actually kind of surprised we got that much out of this. But let me get this unloaded into our truck, and then we will head down and get this delivered, which I believe, if I remember correctly, checking the best price for this right now is over at the animal dealer. So let me get this header put away, we'll get this unloaded, and get these field beans sold. And we've made it down here to the animal dealer with our field beans. And is there any traffic? There is not. Awesome. Let's go. But yes, so we have 20,943 liters, which, by the way, this is awesome. Actually, this truck has a capacity of 21,000, so that amount is actually perfect. This corner, man. always feel I'm gonna hit something, and I don't think I have yet. So that corner gets me every time. Let me go here on the left side because this thing does dump out to the right side. And yes, we're definitely taking a loss here by selling now. I think when I checked in the best stock price thingy, it was like 35,000 if we waited. So we got 28,000. Not too bad. Dollar wise, not a huge amount. Percentage wise, that actually is a pretty large amount we just lost there. But we need the money, because next up is we're going to head back up to the farmyard, grab a tractor, and head down to the dealership. And we're going to spend some money, which I always hate doing, but hopefully this won't be too bad. We're going to lease some equipment for harvesting the potatoes, and I am a bit nervous about this because right now we have 145,000, and I'm hoping by the time we're done selling the potatoes, oh boy, this corner makes me, whoo. That corner, I don't know why it makes me nervous. We always seem to take it fine. But yeah, it makes me nervous because the equipment's expensive. And yes, we have 145,000. So I'm hoping when we're done selling the potatoes that we have more than 145,000, because yeah, that would kind of suck if it didn't. Also, on top of that, the restaurant's only going to take one load from this truck, so 21,000 liters of potatoes. The rest we're going to have to sell elsewhere. So that could be a real pain point if there is a lot of potatoes. Okay, so we have the equipment, and it was expensive. And I know you're probably looking up there at the top right and going, wait a second, you had 145,000, you have 219,000, and you said you just leased expensive equipment. The math doesn't add up. So yes, but we did a thing. I did a thing. The harvester, we sold it. And now hear me out, because I know right away you're probably going, are you crazy? That's like the big expense on the farm. And yes, that is the reason we sold it. And boy, this angle, this equipment, I think we've got the angle. All right, there we go. All right, and this guy's just gonna pull out in front of me. Where's the cop? Oh, there's the cop. Yes, go pull him over. But yes, hear me out on this. Here's my logic on selling the harvester. There is a lot of money tied up into that, and ooh, what was that? No, I don't know. Let's keep going. There's a lot of money tied up into the harvester. As you can see, we got a lot of money from that, even after leasing this really expensive equipment. And the huge downside to me on that, looking at the financial part of it, is where we're at financially. That is a lot of money held up in equipment that is parked for 10 months out of the year. And that is kind of, I think, a bad financial decision based on where we're at right now. Down the road, when we get more financially solvent, then we might buy a new harvester, or used one. Sorry, not new, used. But for now, I think this makes more financial sense for us. For hey, we need to harvest maybe 2 months out of the year. Let's just lease it at that time, and the rest of the year, yeah, we don't have to worry about having that money just sitting in the yard parked doing nothing. So that's kind of my logic behind that. So yeah, hopefully, I mean, that also does get us over that $210,000 mark too. That was kind of the other thing as well on this. But let's head back up here to the farm, because we got some potatoes to harvest, and I'm not honestly looking forward to this, because this is going to be a lot of work, and I hope we make money. So yeah, we need to make at least 40,000 from this. I'm just gonna say that, like, if we don't make 40,000 from harvesting the potatoes, I'm going to be very unhappy about it. So fingers crossed we do well. Well, we made it up here, and I parked the big harvesting part of it, because we can only do one at a time in this area. And I'm also realizing that this was the potentially the worst field to plant the potatoes in. Yeah. Also, now I did have them switch out the tires when we were at the shop and had them put narrows on as well. I did forget to mention that. So that's additional cost here, because as we're going over this, we did not want to destroy any of the potatoes as I run into the fence. We can destroy the fence. I don't care about the fence. I'm just trying to create a little open starting point area here where we can go through and have a kind of a starting point. But we're going to start with removing the foliage with this machine here, which basically, removes all that. And then we'll come back in with the big old harvester and start harvesting the potatoes once we're done with this. And that is going to be a challenge. I'm not going to lie. That's going to be definitely a bit of a work, but I think we'll be able to get it all done. This will probably take the rest of the day though. Just gonna say that. Just gonna put that out there now. This is pretty much an all-day project. So let me continue on with getting these potatoes first getting the foliage all removed, then we will start on the harvesting. So I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, I should have splurged and gotten the more expensive all-in-one machine. That was way more expensive because this is ridiculous. I mean, we're a couple hours later and I'm just now finishing up the last row of foliage and getting that removed. Yeah, oh boy. And the crazy part is I'm pretty sure this is the easy part. I think the harvester thingy, the toe behind here that we're going to start on next is going to be harder because the pickup, this has the thing we just did now has a much wider working width than the harvester pickup does, if I saw that correctly. So I am not looking forward to that. But it looks like Mia did an awesome job on the grass field. She's got it all mowed up here. She's got all the swaths set up with for hay on the headland. So that's pretty awesome. Awesome to see. Well, we're gonna start this off, and I got it unfolded, and this is gonna be fun, and by fun I mean not fun. This thing is definitely a little bit hard to maneuver because the wheels turn, and sometimes it's nice, sometimes though it is not nice. But I'm going to continue on and crack on for the next quite a few hours and get this field all harvested. So it's 6:30 and it's getting late, and we have finished. We have finished the potatoes. Thankfully before it got too dark, but the sun has pretty much set at this point. So let me get this unloaded here. And we'll get these potatoes delivered, and then I'm gonna check on Mia and see how she's doing, because if you look out in front of us, there is a field of bales, and that is awesome to see. Yeah, that's a lot of bales I'm seeing there. So she must be almost done by now. Looks like she's got all the silage done and is working on the hay. So let's get this all delivered, and we are done with potatoes. And I don't think I'm going to do potatoes again unless I can afford to buy the really expensive equipment that does it all in one pass. And also I do in a field that doesn't have any fences, because that was painful. I'm not gonna lie, it was very painful. All right, this is the last load here, and the number we need to see as far as profit is to make it really good profitable is we need to hit 240,000. We're already making good money. Well, not good, but we're made some money from the potatoes. If we hit 240,000, oh, nope, we're not gonna make it. 238,000. Close. So we did make some money. Was it worth it? The answer is no. And the only reason it's a no is because of the equipment that we used. We went with the cheaper equipment to cut cost, and it turned in something that should have been not too long to harvest to, well, pretty much half a day, a little over half a day of work to get harvested. So yeah, definitely not doing it in that field ever again. And if we do potatoes, it will be in a much bigger field and with bigger equipment, which is not going to happen anytime soon. But let's head back up to the farmyard because we need to wrap up this day and move on to the next month because we still have to do some planting and move on to December as well. All right, I am just sitting here waiting for Mia to show up because she is on the last little bit section here of belling up the hay. And here she should be coming along here. Oh, yep, here she comes. So yeah, I did tell her I was going to make dinner for her. So let's go ahead and hop in the tractor because I think she's pretty much done here. And yep. All right. So let's get this wrapped up here, and then I need to make some dinner because I did kind of promise that, didn't I?
You did, and this better be some amazing steak because this was a lot of work. This was a full day doing this field, I'll have you know.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I got a really amazing ribeye cut. We're going to cook that over an open flame and have some potatoes and some corn, and yeah, this is going to be amazing. You'll love it. Some good old American cooking.
You know, I think you're just torturing me now talking about all that yummy food when it's been a long day and I'm starving.
It is entirely possible I may have an evil side and just didn't realize it. I like this. But anyways, let's head inside and I'll get the steaks on the grill, and yeah, dinner will be served. Well, getting a little bit of a later start today because it was a late night last night, but boy, that was some good steak. But we leased a new spreader here and got it all filled up with lime, all 18,000 liters, and I'm afraid this won't be enough because after looking at the results from the soil samples on our fields, we have a big pH problem, and that does affect the yield. And lime is how we're going to fix that. So yeah, this is an expensive ordeal we're going to go through here, but it's a requirement. We have to do it because this does affect the yield, and that has an impact on us. So we're going to head back up to the farm. We're going to get all the fields limed. And I'm pretty sure we're going to use more than 18,000 liters, like I said. But you know what? It is what it is. So let's get back up there, get that done, then start on our planting. And we made it back up here to the farm and just pulling out here to the first field we're going to start with. But my plan is I'm going to lime everything. I'm going to lime this field, the other field, all three fields up here. Let me see, let's get this turned on here. All right, there we go. All right, so let's get started on this. But once I'm done with the three fields over here, I also want to lime the grass field and also where we had the potatoes as well. Although we're not putting potatoes back in there. I'm done with potatoes for now, at least. And I'm doing the grass field because yeah, it does increase the yield, which means more silage, which means more money. But let me continue on with this, get this done. Because I still need to get the planting done, and I want to get it done this month. Also looking over there and seeing all those bells, we also need to get all of those bells picked up off of the field as well before we do the lime over there. So lots to get done here in October. And wow, beautiful sunrises as always up here. I love this map. All right, so I got all three of those fields limed, and it only took just under an hour, which is not too bad, not too bad. That spreader that we leased is it's pretty awesome. Actually does more than a pretty good job. It does an amazing job of it. But we got our vegetables here picked up. Let's go over and pick up the strawberries and get these delivered to the restaurant. Now the big question here I have is how many pallets will we have here? Oh, we got 3. Awesome. That is so awesome. I love it. All right, let's get backed up here and get these picked up and delivered. Now, one thing we are going to do on the alcohol here for this is we are going to limit it to 4,000 liters for the restaurant. The reason for that is each pallet is 2,000 liters, so just 2 pallets per month for the restaurant. So we'll limit it to that. Just that way we don't. If we have anything over that, we'll have to sell it somewhere else. Because I mean, we do have the pub, and they'll buy it. But let's get this over here and get this delivered, and let's see how much money we're gonna make here. I'm hoping we made some good money from this. Let's see here. See if everything is selling. Oh, nope, it's not. Pull forward a little bit more. There we go. All right, now it's all selling. And I really need to make sure I pull forward every time going forward because I tend to not pull forward enough. All right, so we're at 235,000. That's awesome. Okay, 236 and something. Man, those tomatoes take forever. All right, so 31,549 plus a 1,300 environmental score reward. So we're just over 32,000, 32,800. Not bad. I mean, that's within spitting distance of that 35,000. That's awesome, actually. Actually, really awesome. So, wow. Let's head back over to the farm though, because we still have a lot of stuff to get done. We need to get the wheat and the barley planted. I need to get all the bells picked up off of the grass field. I also need to lime the field over here on the right and this grass field as well. And oh my, just look at that sun coming through there. Man, I love this map in the fall. This map is beautiful year round, but it's just something about it in the fall and even in the winter. Okay, so it's beautiful year round. Amazing map. But let's get back up here to the farm because we still have a lot to get done. So one of my favorite parts of the fall season is the planting. Actually, I like planting, I like harvesting, and all of it. It's awesome. We'll get started here with this field. We're going to put in barley, which, yeah, this is our biggest field, and barley also has the highest yield. So, you know, we probably should do wheat, you're thinking? No, we're going to do barley, and there's multiple reasons for this. One is we're actually using barley in our patty and whiskey. But the other thing, and the bigger thing here is I'm thinking about our future growth, and everything is working on awesome. All right. So we've pretty much survived this. In fact, it's kind of in the bag now, which kind of surprised me considering where we started, that we are doing so well. However, we have a long ways to go, and as well as we're doing, it's going to take forever to pay off that loan. It's going to take forever at this rate. So I want to use our money to work on expanding next year as we, get more profits and stuff to increase the rate at which we get profits so we can pay off that darn loan. Now, one of the big areas where I'm looking at doing that is, as I back up here, because I am totally missing some areas, is for future expansion. So they're kind of, I guess you could say, 2 major areas, maybe 3. One is around the whiskey. I want to find ways to produce more alcohol and cut down our costs on that. I'm gonna switch to this view. This makes it a little bit easier to see where I'm going. The other areas is I want to get chickens, primarily for eggs, but then for the third thing is I want to get into some form of meat production for the restaurant, because the restaurant is the ultimate goal, I think, for this series, because that was my grandparents' dream, is having a restaurant on the farm that is supplied locally from the farms, from this farm and other farms. And one way to do that, I think, is, hey, if we can process the chickens, get some chicken meats for the restaurant, also some beef from the cows and lamb chops and stuff like that, that would be really huge. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna set up a straight line here on this, and yeah, right there. I'll go back and grab that section I just missed. But yeah, so that is the goal for next year, which year 2 of this series will probably happen in a couple of weeks because we are doing the rotating. So we have next week it's going to be Alma, and then the week after that I'm not going to spoil it because it's a surprise. But let's continue on here now with this and get this field fully planted. All right, we got the wheat and the barley all planted. I'm gonna wait on planting our other 2 arable fields until after I talk with Mia and William to find out what the best crops is, and I may also check in with Justin as well before we do anything, just to make sure I don't make the mistake of potatoes 2.0. Now, for the bales, we're going to stack some of the hay bales. I'm going to stack over by the straw bales, and I will give some of the straw bales to the cow to make some more bedding because I think they are pretty much all out. And we'll stack some of the silage bales over by the cow shed, but for the most part, I'm going to stack all of these silage bales down at the bottom of the field over by the potato field. Just so that they can sit over there, ferment, and that will give us a shorter distance to take them when we deliver them to the animal dealer once they are turned into silage. But let's continue on with this, and now we'll get all of these bales done. Then I'll get this field fully limed and fertilized. And we are now in the month of December. So I've already done the usual stuff. And we've already taken care of all the fields, so everything's good to go. We're sitting right now at $261,000, which, yeah, that is pretty amazing. Things are been going really well. Now, the one thing we do have left to do, though, is sell the silage bales. But I'm going to stop here because I want you to look at this. Let me hop over this hedge here. Just look at that. That is amazing. Yes, I know in FS25 it's going to be even way better, and that has me so excited. It's like I mentioned at the beginning of the game, but even here, like, this is amazing. I mean, just look at that. That's just wow. I really hope this map comes over to FS25 because it's going to be even better if it does. So yeah, it's on my wish list. This, Court Farms, Alma, and a few others. I want them over in FS25, and I want FS25 now. But I know, we'll wait for the finished product. Anyways, we're heading over here to the bales because they are all ready to be sold. So we're going to get these loaded up into our bale trailer, and then we will take them over to the animal dealer and get them sold. And I'm hoping for some good money, and I need to get a little bit closer because we're not grabbing the ones in the back there. So let's try this angle. Here we go. I think we got it. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, so let's get a full trailer load, take these down to the animal dealer, and then there we go, got full load. So let's take these down to the animal dealer, get them sold, and then we'll come back and get the rest of the bales. And I'm hoping we make some good money because we won't be able to pay off the loan, but if we can, find ways to reduce our costs, because we do have some leased equipment, and if we could buy out most of those leases, that would be a major bonus for this, because we've already achieved our goals. We've survived year 1, and we've got our $210,000 in the bank for having, covering 6 months of expenses. So anything beyond now is just like, wow, bonus. So let's get down here and get these sold. All right, moment of truth here. Actually, I'm not even sure how well this is gonna go. So I kind of have found one slight problem with this bale trailer. It does not have straps. I didn't quite realize that, but it's an awesome trailer, and it's one of the first auto load bale trailers that came out. And yeah, that's, well, 68,000. Whoa. But yeah, I wanted to use the roll-in pack because so like when FS22 first came out, this was the first, well, I'm pretty positive, it's as far as I can remember, but I'm pretty positive this was the first auto load bell trailer that came out with FS22. And given that we're kind of at the end of FS22, I thought, let's use it. Yeah. But one problem, it does not have straps unless you turn off the auto load, which is kind of weird, but hey, it is what it is, and it works. But yeah, so we're up to $334,000. That's amazing. I'm just gonna say it's absolutely amazing. I'm gonna be saying amazing a lot this episode, I have a feeling, at least the rest of it. But let's head up here, grab another load of bells, and get those sold and see how high that can go. Okay, so we are back here, and what I'm gonna do is, instead of trying what we did last time and having half the bell, well, not half the bells, but a third of the bells fall off or something like that. Oh, hope I'm not running anybody. Hopefully they can see me backing up and move out of the way. That might be wishful thinking. Hopefully they improve that in the FS25. But we're going to use the unload feature here and try to avoid. Yes, that worked so much better. And oh, wow. Yeah, we're up to $407,000. There's people walking through my trailer. But let's head back and grab the last couple of bells. So we have the last 9 bells, and this is the last of our silage bells that we're selling. And I'm hoping, I'm trying to think how much we're gonna hit. I'm thinking 420, 425. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know. Let's see how close we are. How close I am. You guys have an unfair advantage to be able to, see before you comment, probably. Man, I don't know why that churn always makes me nervous. Let's just pull over here, back up, because we know the system works. We could probably get by with single layer bells, but actually, you know what? Yeah, we can. Let's just back all the way up onto the ramp and just unload it right onto the trailer. It's when we start hitting like the double and triple stack, that's when it gets difficult. Now I want a triple stack burger. All right. Wow. $431,000. Oh my. That's more than I thought. That's a whole lot more than what I thought. That's wow. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. So we only need to pay $210,000. So given that we have this large surplus here, let's hop into the lease menu and let's pay off some of these leases. I'm gonna start with things we're using a lot of, the baler. So let's go ahead and buy that off. And let's see, let's also grab the fertilized spreaders, because I want to leave $210,000 in the bank after we do, buy off these leases, because that we have to have that much in there. I don't want to go below that. All right, so we're at $268,000. We'll start with the trailer here, so we do use that a lot. I'm doing it by usage. This one for last. So 40. So we have 260,000. 265. Yeah, so that gives us just over 210,000. So we paid off all of our leased equipment, which is pretty significant, because that will reduce our monthly cost as well, because that cost was in addition to the 235,000. So yeah, we have achieved all of our goals. We survived year 1, and I got out there again without hitting the wall. Awesome. We got our enough money saved up to cover 6 months of expenses, i.e. the $210,000, which that is amazing. To be totally honest, I didn't, at the very beginning of this, because we still have that $4 million debt, I didn't think we would, I wasn't sure if we were going to survive year 1, honestly. I was questioning that, if that was going to be even possible. And we did. Not only that, but we have money in the bank. We're good to go. and we're in a very good situation going into year two. So yeah, that is wow. And speaking of year two, you will have to stick around. It's going to be a couple weeks out. But year two will start when this series gets back into the rotation in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime, if you want to go watch some more farming sim content, I'm going to have the latest video over here on the right side from our Alma series, which is the series that will be starting on Monday. And I hope you have a wonderful day and hope to see you there.